This is Coach Lee, and I'm going to share with you 5 ways to get into your ex's head. If you've seen many of my videos, this first way might be something you've already heard, but listen through it, get some repetition, and then the others will probably be new or at least a different twist. The first thing to do to get into your ex's head is to give them the breakup. Because when they break up with you, they are on a high horse of attraction where they feel more attractive than you. They don't want to hurt you, but they do feel like they're better off without you and that you are less attractive. And of course, just the very definition of attraction means that there's a pull between the two. They don't feel pulled to you as much. So they assume that they are more attractive than you. Now, it's not some sort of wicked thing that they feel where they don't care about you or they see themselves as way above you and they're arrogant and you don't deserve to live or something like that. But it is a feeling where they feel like that they are more attractive than you. And that's why they're breaking up with you. That's why they are dismissing you. And so they expect you to really chase, to fight, to beg, to plead, to do all these things because that's what someone who is not as attractive would do when they are overwhelmed with this other person's sexiness and good looks and emotional intelligence and all these things that we're attracted to. If this other person is chasing after it, that's to be expected. That's normal. And so that's basically what they expect. It may take them a few days to kind of start to think about what they expected because sometimes people are surprised at how someone who's being broken up with will become emotional because they weren't expecting it. That's probably because they haven't thought too much about your reaction and they just think they've got to get it over with and they're hoping things will go smoothly. But what you want is for them to be able to get a few days of reflection. Sometimes it takes that because they're really focused on just getting the breakup over with because it's a difficult, awkward thing. They don't want to hurt you. They just kind of want to be able to move on and feel like that you're not hurt. But then the more they think about it, maybe they kind of want you to be hurt a little bit because it makes them feel like they are just super duper lustworthy and attractive, and that hurts you that you lost them. Now, that doesn't mean they want you to hurt, but they do kind of get an ego stroke if you are. And so if you actually give them the breakup and you don't try to talk them out of it or fight, then it really throws a monkey wrench into the operations in their mind because they assume, since they're the ones breaking up with you, that they are more attractive. And so you should be chasing. You should be acting like someone in the place of being less attractive, less desirable. And a lot of you who are watching probably didn't do that. You might have begged and pleaded, and I understand. So what you can do is you can start right now. Give them the breakup. From this moment forward, you will give them the breakup. Now, I don't suggest you reach out and say, I'm giving you the breakup. Show them. Talk is cheap. Actions are not. So just stop. Stop the pursuit. Stop the chasing. Give them the breakup. So that's number 1 on how you can get in your ex's head. Take a quick second and subscribe to this channel so you can be notified when I have more videos like this one. The second way that I'm going to share for you to get in your ex's head is to control the momentum. And what I mean by that is that when your ex starts to run away, which is what they're doing when they break up with you, they are running in the other direction. If you chase, what happens? If you've seen my other videos, you know that I have said this before. If you chase them, then they have motivation to run faster and to run further because you are still there chasing. You need to allow them, and of course we're speaking figuratively here, but allow them to get far enough away that they turn around and you're not there, so they stop running. Because what happens if you keep chasing, you look obsessed, you look maybe even mentally unstable, and so they keep trying to get further away, and they even feel like I've been trying for days, I've been trying for weeks, they won't let me go. It will even seem selfish because it's like they're saying, I want this breakup, but you don't. And so you think that you should just get what you want and I shouldn't get what I want. That's what they kind of think and feel in the situation. And so you've got to let the momentum go to where it stops. It's like a ball and it just rolls its energy out. But if you keep chasing, that ball will keep rolling further and further away and it's more difficult. So cut your losses right now. Stop chasing. Now that also applies in the other direction. When your ex starts making moves back to you, you actually want it to work in the other direction. And that I've told you to stop so that their momentum will stop going the other way. Now I'm telling you, don't stop. in the other direction. And what I mean by that is this: when they reach out, when they want to see you, if they start asking, do you want me back? Do you miss me? Those kinds of things. Now, you can't just say, no, I don't miss you, because they probably won't believe that. It'll seem ridiculous. You'll seem like a jerk. They won't think that you're a genuine person in this. They'll think you're trying to game them, and that can actually be very unattractive because it makes it look like you really want them back, or that you're just trying to play little games, and they might think, I don't have time for this. I've seen it fail a lot, so just trust me. Don't be a liar, and don't say things that are like over the top. But if they start moving towards you, let them keep coming. So for example, if they reach out to you and they say, I miss you and I'm kind of reconsidering the breakup, what do you think? See, that's bait on a hook. They want to rehook you so that their ego feels nice and taken care of and warm. And so they want you to basically say, you are so attractive, of course you could still get me back. Of course, none of my feelings for you have changed. I still want you back. You probably feel that, and you probably want to say that to them. And I'm not saying you lie, but what I am saying is that you treat it like you would if you were on a diet, or if you are responding to someone who has emotionally abused you. You may care very much for them, but your actions and your statements should be guarded and reserved. So for example, with a diet, people joke about me talking about how I like Snickers bars in some videos. They don't pay me to say that. I just like Snickers, but I don't eat many of them at all. As a matter of fact, I can't remember when I've had one because I'm trying to stay low with my carbs. And so I could say, well, I want it. And so if I'm being genuine, I would eat a Snickers bar. It's not true. I'm showing discipline, because just because you want something and it feels good in that moment doesn't mean that's the moment for it. And so you will get an opportunity to say this, but it's not time yet because it will mess things up. So when you get that first reach out where they're asking if you miss them, if you want to get back together. Now, if they ask if you miss them, you will probably have to say something like, it can be tough sometimes. Or, yeah, I've been wondering what you're up to. Something kind of casual. But I have had people get coaching calls with me or coaches on my staff, and they've said that when their ex has said this, that they say things like, terribly, every day, I'm in agony. And you may feel that, but you can't tell them that, because it reassures them. It stops their momentum. You basically just hold your hands up and you stop them like a brick wall because you've given them everything they wanted. There's nothing for them to do except say, let's get back together. Sometimes it happens, but usually that's when relationships fade back out, is because you stop their momentum too soon. You want to allow it to keep moving. So for example, you want to show reserve, and you might say something. If they were to say they want to get back together, you could say, I'm open to that, but I just want to take it one day at a time. And they may even respond with anger because they want to feel like that they didn't mess it up with you. You cannot give them all of that. It's an art of subtleties. You give them a little, enough to keep them moving forward, like a carrot on a stick. If there's no carrot on the stick, they won't keep moving. But if you just give them the carrot, they won't keep moving either. So you need to keep backing up with the carrot. So you are showing reserve, that you're not real sure about them because you value yourself just like you value them, or at least you did value them, but their value has fallen in your eyes in some degree, and you're not sure about them because it was actually something that turned you off a little bit. It was unattractive of them to break up with you. You see, if we go back to what I was talking about before, to that totem pole of attraction where they felt more attractive than you, you are putting them back in their place, which is not beneath you in terms of talking about attraction, but it's in front of you as equals who are equally attracted to each other. But they have a ways to go yet. And that's why you show reserve and you say things like, I'm willing, I'm open to the idea, but I want to take it one day at a time. And even if they get upset, just say, I understand, but you have to understand where I'm coming from, and I'm wanting to just take this one day at a time. I'm not wanting to do anything quickly right now. They won't like it. Now, they may say that's fine and everything, but they wished you would just help them out here, show them that they didn't lose you, show them that it would be easy for them to get you back. You get the idea. Be a master of momentum to get in your ex's head. Before I get to the third way of how to get in your ex's head, get some more information on my emergency breakup kit. I'll link to it in the description below. It's a culmination of my 20 years in the relationship coaching service. It can guide you to get your ex back. So take a look, get information in that link in the description below about my emergency breakup kit. So the third way that you can get in your ex's head is don't be angry. Now stay with me. This is more complex than you think. But if you're angry, first of all, anger shows incredible pain. Anger is almost always the hard scab on top of soft, vulnerable pain. And people instinctively know that. They know that they have gotten to you, that what they did really got to you. And even though that's the case, at the moment, again, you're showing the discipline I have to show when I see that Snickers bar and I say, no, not going to do it. Do I want the Snickers bar? Sure. That doesn't change. The fact that I don't pick it up and I don't eat it, and I don't buy it, does not mean I don't like the way that it tastes. I do, but I'm showing discipline because in the moment, it's not good for me. And in the moment, you showing anger and showing all the emotions you felt from this breakup is not good for you, and it's not good for this relationship that you're hoping to get back. So it would be best if you would actually act like that the breakup didn't really affect you that much, that it didn't hurt, it didn't make you angry, that you're all right. Now that's more of a projection. And it's okay, you're not being dishonest, but you are showing discipline because you cannot just show this to them right now. They don't deserve to see it. They're not intimate in your life anymore. They don't deserve the details of your emotions. And so don't show them. And the reason also that you don't want to be angry is that you live a great life. And people who live a great life, who are attractive, they don't need to show anger. They're not angry. They're having a good time. They've got relationships and friendships and things going in their life. And so they don't have to be angry. And so if you show your ex you're not angry, it shows incredible emotional strength. Plus, your ex didn't do this because they're a bad person. Now, they might be a bad person, but just because of the fact that they broke up with you, that doesn't mean by itself that your ex is a bad person. And so being mad at them is maybe not the correct emotion. Now, it depends on your situation. But anger, when they think that they want something else, that it's not working, that they need something else, it's not really the right emotion. Now, you may feel it, and that's normal and natural. But just because we feel something does not mean that it's deserved. And again, your situation could be entirely different and that your ex could be a total jerk and they deserve your anger. But it could just simply be that they felt they needed something else, that it wasn't working between you two, then that the feelings were not coming back and that they had a future without you. And that's not something that they did intentionally to hurt you or to cause harm. So it's not necessarily the right response anyway. But you don't want to show them anger because just like with the previous point that I mentioned, it will actually hurt that momentum. It will show them that they really affected you and that they could have you back at any moment. Plus, they won't want to be around you if you're angry. They'll feel that they're being punished. It will be a negative for them. And so you'll actually start them running in the other direction again. So let's get to the next point. A fourth way of getting into your ex's head is that you don't fix it for them. And what I mean by that is that sometimes they will want you to do the work of getting the two of you back together. So they won't say those things like, I want to get back together. So in the other point, I mentioned that they would say that sometimes and that you should say, I'm open to that, but I want to take things slowly. But sometimes they won't say that, but they'll say things and they'll be around you. They'll text, they'll call, they'll come up to you. And you can almost tell that they're expecting you to say something, or they're testing the waters and they're trying to see if you'll just take care of it for them. If you'll do the hard part, if you'll be the one to stick your neck out and take the chance and ask them if they want to get back together. And again, that's the action of someone who thinks they're more attractive than you. Because if you two were equally attractive, they would realize that they are the one who broke up with you. So it's their place to fix what they broke, not yours. But if they think they're more attractive than you, then they will think, well, you should just take care of it. You should be the one to say something. You should be the one to make me feel super attractive and pursue me and make the move on me and try to get me back and talk to me and try to glue the pieces back together. Don't do that for them. It's their mess. They broke you up. They should put the two of you back together. And if they aren't willing to do the work, then they are not ready and they're not moving towards you enough. And too much of it is ego, even if they don't realize it in the moment. Because sometimes, you know how I talk about in my videos that what you feel is a combination of love and loss. And sometimes we don't realize that a lot of it is the feeling of loss. When they start feeling loss, sometimes they will act to simply feel they didn't lose you, that they could get you back. And there's not enough love. And so that results in a short-term reunion where it fades back out. And you don't want that. And I'm talking very short-term. Usually it's just a few days. You don't want that. Even though right now you may think you'll take them back however you can get them. I've talked to enough of you, and Coach Ken on my staff has talked to enough of you, and Coach Rex on my staff has talked to enough of you to know you don't want that. Because you will be crushed to think that you got them back only to lose them in a few days because you weren't disciplined enough after hearing what I've got to say about this. So don't fix it for them. Let them do the work of that. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't suggest, hey, let's get coffee. If they keep reaching out to you and maybe they're being a little flirty, maybe some things are just obvious and you're going to be around to where they live, where they work, or you two see each other daily or regularly or something like that, saying, hey, you want to grab coffee sometime, especially if it's been a little bit of time and they do keep reaching out and you two do keep talking and they just haven't done that part. You can do that part because sometimes they just want to see if they're going to look like a complete idiot if they try to ask you if you want to get back together. They want to kind of know a little bit. And so sometimes for some people that can be that carrot on a stick. And then when you get them face to face, they should be the one to say that. Now, what you can also do in that situation, and I talk about this more in my emergency breakup kit, is you can kind of start getting into that role of being a couple without having that conversation and without putting the label back on it. And that's pretty interesting. And like I said, I talk about that in the emergency breakup kit, or one of my coaches can talk to you about that in a coaching call. And you can reach out to me on Instagram at RealCoachLee, at RealCoachLee on Instagram. Watch out for impersonators, but if you reach out to me there, I can get you in touch with one of my coaches and you can book a coaching call, depending on if you're done with a breakup or anxiety. The number 5 way to get in your ex's head is don't rush. Because again, this deals with a lot of attraction details because like I've talked about, a breakup is where attraction has fallen for you. And so they figure if you are more attracted to them, if you are the one in the smaller and the lesser position of attraction, then you would be rushing and desperate to get them back. You would be doing whatever. But when you show that you're not going to rush, that you will take your time, you will say things like, I'm willing, I'm open, but I want to take it one day at a time. And you won't just jump right back into it. That will get in their head. It's a powerful thing. Don't rush. Take it one day at a time. Take it 1 second at a time if you possibly can. It's an attractive thing and it will help you get your ex back. This has been Coach Lee. Thank you for watching.